My beloved child, I ask for just a moment of your precious attention. To hear a voice that rises above all the distractions of this world. For what I wish to share with you is of greater importance than anything else that currently occupies your thoughts. You did not find this moment by accident. This moment was written for you. And something powerful is about to unfold inside your soul. You were not created to live in failure, tears, or error. Even if you have spent hours crying. Even if your spirit longs for something you cannot name. I want you to know that you are secure in the hands of the Master Architect. We stand together today at a great crossroads. And the terrain may feel broken beneath your feet. But while you have been looking at your situation and seeing rubble, the living God has been looking at that same situation and seeing a foundation. You are a divine work of art, a masterpiece that God is making. And He will not be satisfied until your life reflects a specific character, the character of His Son. Just as a sentient picture might wish to be a mere thumbnail sketch, to avoid the rubbing and scraping of the artist. We often wish for an easier destiny, but in doing so, we are wishing not for more love, but for less. The first step on this journey of transformation is the most difficult. It is the call to an absolute and irrevocable surrender of your will. This is not a matter of debate or reasoning. It is a deliberate act of choosing to be your utmost for His highest, and your best for His glory. We often hesitate because we are weighed down by an overweening consideration for ourselves. Or we cover our fear with the pretense of considering others. But I tell you, shut out every other consideration and keep yourself before God, for this one thing only. My utmost for His highest. You must be determined to be absolutely and entirely for Him and Him alone. There is a white funeral that must take place in every soul. The burial of the old life and the old satanic right to oneself. If there has never been this crucial moment of change through death, then your sanctification will never be more than an elusive dream. Do not fear this death, for God's order is to work up to a crisis in our lives, when we will not heed the gentler way. He brings us to the great divide, where we must decide, for or against. If that crisis has come to you on any line, surrender now. You may feel that you are walking through the valley of vision, living in the depths but seeing the heights. In this valley, you must learn the divine paradoxes. That the way down is truly the way up, that to be low is to be high. And that the broken heart is the only heart God truly heals. When you have nothing, you possess all. When you give, you receive. Do not be dismayed by the darkness. For stars can be seen most clearly from the deepest wells. Let God find His light in your darkness, and His riches in your poverty. Many of you have kept going, even when every reason to stop seemed more logical than every reason to continue. You have prayed in the dark, cried out without hearing an audible answer, and stood on promises that have not yet materialized in the visible world. Through a grace that astonishes even the angels, you have chosen to trust. I want you to understand that what you have been doing is exactly what faith looks like when it is most real. Faith is not the absence of struggle, faith is the presence of trust. In the middle of the struggle, your faith does not have to be large to be powerful. And it does not have to be perfect to be real. Do not confuse the quality of your faith with the quantity of it, or the reality of belief, with the emotional intensity that accompanies it. A person can have a quiet, barely perceptible sense of holding on, and still be operating from a faith that has roots going down into bedrock. The depth of your faith is measured by what it is anchored to, and your anchor is the unchanging character of God. Character is the most durable material in existence. Stronger than stone, stronger than steel. God's character does not change, based on the pressure applied. He is the same in the hidden places, as he is in the public ones. When the visible things in your life shake, and they will, it does not mean the foundation has failed. It means you are being invited to look past the trembling walls, and remember that what holds this structure together is deeper than any storm can reach. You were not designed for a faith that only functions in favorable weather. You were designed for a faith that increases its roots in the storm. God does not give us overcoming life, He gives us life as we overcome. The strain is the strength. If there is no strain, there is no strength. Consider the megaphone of pain. God whispers to us in our pleasures, and speaks in our conscience, but He shouts in our pains. It is His tool to rouse a deaf world. Pain removes the veil, and plants the flag of truth within the fortress of a rebel soul. Sometimes God's refusals are His mercies, and sometimes He allows what He hates to accomplish what He loves. If through a broken heart, God can bring His purposes to pass in the world, then thank Him for breaking your heart. We must also awaken to the grace awakening. Jesus never intended the Christian life to be a treadmill of rules or a litany of drudgery. That was the way of the Pharisees, who managed to squash all the joy out of life. Grace is the rainbow, breaking through storm clouds, encompassing your life, from your first breath to your last. It is atonement, where God paid your debt. It is redemption, where He bought you back from slavery. And it is reconciliation, where He restored you to Himself. Where sin overflowed, grace flooded in. Where sin was colossal, grace was supercolossal. We can transform the jangling discords of our lives into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. Do not let your heart be troubled, for God is the strength of your heart, and your portion forever. He is the everlasting God, the Creator of the ends of the earth, who does not faint or grow weary. He gives power to the faint, and increases strength to those who have no might. They who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles, they shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. The life of faith is not always a life of mounting up with wings, but often a life of walking and not fainting. There is no thrill in walking, it is the test of all stable qualities. It requires the supernatural grace of God to live 24 hours in every day as a saint, to go through drudgery as a disciple, and to live an ordinary, ignored existence to the glory of God. Drudgery is the touchstone of character. It requires the inspiration of God to wash the feet of others, with the light of heaven upon the task. I declare over you today, that the faith God has placed in you will not be destroyed by the storms that come against you. Every attack designed to uproot your trust will be met by roots that go deeper than the attack can reach. The foundation being built in your life will outlast every difficulty. Your future is not at the mercy of chance or the hostility of your circumstances. Your future is in the hands of God. His hands do not lose what they hold. His hands do not release what they have claimed. You are carried. You are held. You are loved with a love that has no bottom and no ceiling, no beginning and no end. This love is the most powerful force in all of existence, and it is personally directed at you. Your faith is built on a rock that cannot be moved, and on that rock it will stand. Now, arise and move forward, for God has placed within your spirit a fervent desire to triumph. Rise and eat, for the journey is too great for you alone. But you are not alone. Go back to your home, your work, and your struggles, knowing that the God who parts seas and calms storms is walking through the shadows with you. Let your first thought every morning be praise, and your last thought every night be surrender. Your victory is certain, and what has been prepared for you is greater than you can imagine. Amen.